please.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Bingle.
Here.
Commissioner Blackman. Commissioner Copeland. Commissioner Outlaw.
Here.
Commissioner Powell.
Present.
Commissioner Reddick.
Here.
Commissioner Scott.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Mr. Bond, is anybody
For public comments?
Comments.
No, sir, nobody's registered or asked to speak today.
Thank you, appreciate that. You take a minute or two, you may have reviewed the minutes already, but look over them again. I know I did earlier, and I sent something back, and they corrected them, but if you see anything,
I had one. Commissioner Copeland was via Zoom and not in person.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So that needs to be corrected. So I'm happy to make the motion that, and I don't know what your changes were, so I assume they were
Yeah,
corrected.
they corrected,
They're-
yeah,
okay.
they're corrected. So
I'll make the motion that we adopt the minutes of the February 19th meeting with the note that Commissioner James Copeland was present via Zoom.
Second motion.
all in favor of approving the minutes with the noted correction about Commissioner Copeland being present via Zoom, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ms. Julianne, finance report.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'll start on the consolidated income statement with the total operating revenue for Trent Court at $73,764. For the Ross Grant, $16,541. And for New Bern Towers, $204,104. On the next page, down to total operating expenses. For Trent Court, $190,556. For the Ross Grant, $12,670. And for New Bern Towers, $169,036. Total profit for Trent Court, $660,468. For the Ross Grant, $3,871. And for New Bern Towers, $35,068. Are there any questions?
Any questions or comments for Ms. Wells?
And just for the record, as Ms. Wells has indicated before, Ms. Lee
Ms. Lee?
has indicated before, we drew down in March the HUD subsidy, so you'll see that properly notated on next month's financial statement. So it doesn't show it for this month, but it will show it on next month's statement. So based on the continuing resolution, we've drawn down those funds, and so it'll be reported next month.
Thank you for that, and thank you for the work y'all been doing to get that, and, you know, that hard work that goes unseen, but it's appreciated.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, thank you for that. That being said, any more questions or comments? I'll take a motion to approve the finance report.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of approving the finance report as stated, as reported, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Mr. Bonner, Executive Director's report.
It's gonna be real easy.
Okay.
I have no reports. No, really and truly, the start of the new year is going good. I have no issues. As you indicated, we're working through all of our issues with the HUD field office. We're working with FEMA. We have a call coming up this Thursday. Commissioner Bingle will be on that call with us on Thursday. We have had the bid opening for the Charles Taylor demolition of the interior.
Okay.
To be able to do that. We're going through that process right now to make the selection for that contractor. For that, we're working with FEMA again to make sure we can be able to get within a timely manner the approval from FEMA where we can go ahead and issue that award, because those contractors can only hold their fees for a certain number of days. So we're pushing FEMA on that. As you all know, we have the RFP on the street for the CNI consultant, so we'll be getting that. So by next month, we'll be reporting that information to you. Like Julianne, I was at the HUD Southeast Region Conference in Nashville last week. Julianne went to a video training for accounting, but I was at the Southeast Regional HUD training where the HUD Regional Administrator, as well as the senior staff from Washington and Chicago, based on the Special Application Center where we submit for Trent Court and everything else for the proposed demolition projects and all of that. So all the leadership from HUD was at that conference, had great conversations with them about our community. And Ms. Bingle, one of the people that was there, is over the CNI program, so we got their name. And I told them to remember the guy with the round glasses, and so we would be submitting our application.
I got the picture.
Yeah, and I screenshotted them talking and sent it to Commissioner Bingle where we can keep our eye on the HUD people, on who we need to communicate with and who we need to talk to. But we had some great conversations last week, and making sure that we keep New Bern on their mind. So
That's good.
What is the RFP for the CNI, what's the deadline for that consultant?
It'll be before our next month's board meeting. So we did
You'll have.
we'll have something to report on the bidders at next month's board meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Are you keeping up too with all these other consultants that we have, such as FEMA and whatever, as far as when their contracts expire?
We are keeping up. And the other thing I will share with you is I got from the HUD office is I got a listing of all of the reports and when they are due.
Okay.
And so I'm working with the HUD office to make sure that we have a very detailed report of when all of the annual, quarterly, monthly reports are due, and I'm gonna have Dee plug those into our calendar as a calendar reminder, so that way we can alleviate some of the issues of previous, of just making sure that we're reporting all of our different reports on the timely manner.
Okay.
Okay. But otherwise, I think things are moving in the right direction. We have a HUD inspection next month, and so we have a pre-inspection that we're contracting with inspectors to do pre-inspections. They're here today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. That way we can work along with our staff, so we can go through all of the buildings. These are HUD-approved inspectors, so they are going along with all of our staff to go through the building, write up what needs to be done. Our maintenance guys then can create the work orders, get those items done, and then on the April 22nd of next month, our goal is to have all of those repairs done so we can get a good report when they do the inspection.
That's great.
Okay.
Being proactive, that's good.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sorry, the F.R. Daniels school site, the assessment went well? Is
So
that what
the architect was on site last week with the school district, so we're still doing our due diligence
Oh,
that you
okay.
all have authorized.
Okay.
So we're still doing our due diligence on the school site to look at, again, if that's a possibility.
Okay.
But we are doing all of the reviews, environmental reviews. The city is working with us on the environmental assessment for the phase 1 and phase 2. They have a brownfields grant, so they're helping to cover that expense. So, Mr. Outlaw, I know you brought that up the previous months, but just want to say that, immediately after that, we heard from the city and they said, hey, we understand what you all are doing. We have funds already allocated for that, for the city as in totality, so we can utilize that for that site. So there's no reason for you all to spend money to do the phase 1 and phase 2 when we already have brownfields money that can be used for that. So we're much appreciative of them taking on that responsibility.
I'm feeling this partnership, finally, things going the way they're going, and I want to thank you for what you're doing, boots on the ground, but also, Commissioner Bing, you have, when Zeb moved, you slid right in and seamless, and I want to appreciate you
Thank
for
you, I
doing
appreciate that.
Because
We're gonna get it right.
yeah, it's a work in progress,
Get it right.
but we're farther along than we had been.
Sure.
Going in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have.
Okay.
Just to share with you on the other staff reports.
Yes.
Those are self-explanatory, so those are really from a consent standpoint. What we're doing this evening is to allow you all to, I don't want to read something that's already there for you to read. So if you have any questions on any of those reports, please let me know, and then we'll get a response for you and get it back to you. Thank you, Commissioner Bingle, again for bringing that to our attention, that, you know, we don't need to read a report that's already there. And so, again, we're improving upon what we've been doing and how we can make those changes. So you all have it as you go through it, look at those. One thing that we're constantly making sure with those changes is with the work that Julianne is doing with BDO, our fee accountant, we're making sure that the numbers coincide with staff report. And so, you know, again, let me be honest with you, that's a work in progress. And it's not that anybody's doing anything wrong, it's just a matter of how we pull things out of the system, and we're trying to make them align together. So over the next 45 to 60 days, we'll have that to where it's working seamlessly. But right now, we still got some glitches, but we're working through that process.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, it may be, I'm just not understanding it correctly, but I'm trying to back into the numbers. So, here on, the towers, there was, 3 vacant units. It shows 1 bedroom and 1 2-bedroom, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And no move-ins, no move-outs. But the month before, they had 5 total vacant units, 3 1-bedroom, 2 2-bedrooms, with 1 move-in, no move-out. So how do you come to that?
So, Commissioner Bingham, the month that I told them that they didn't need to come,
It was the month
is
that
the month that
I.
you got a question?
And that's fine,
So-
I would just,
so I
for
will-
my own, so I can understand it, because
No,
it
that's
has
a
been
good
a little
question.
bit of an issue in the past, it does not add up.
Right, and I will, as I indicated,
Yes,
we will
sir.
get an answer
Okay,
for you.
thank you very much.
So, if you would do me a favor, if you would follow up with an email to me with that specific question,
do that.
and then we'll get that out for the good of the group, and then we'll make sure that's correct.
And it looks like Trent Court is correct, but again, I'm not 100, there's a lot of moving parts and the move in, move out.
Yeah,
So I would like, I'll send that to you as well, just to
Okay.
look at that. And then I just noticed on both of these reports, 0 police calls, is that correct? If so, I'm very pleased, but usually there's a wellness check. That's what I was concerned, because there's always, we have many wellness checks, especially in the towers.
sure. I'll follow up.
Okay.
But to piggyback on what you just indicated, we've been in communication with the police department to get an updated report system that we're working in cooperation with them, that we will have a better reporting system to provide to the board as a whole, to kind of give you some background information on the number of calls and the type of calls and incidents. It won't provide you with the individual's specific names or information, but it will give you background on the types of calls and the number of calls that we receive.
Thank you.
That, was for the properties as well as the Ross?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Glad staff doesn't have to hang around, you
Yeah,
know?
oh yeah, value your people. I see, Mr. Vaughn, you have a resolution.
Yes, sir. So just to give y'all a little background, since I've been here, I hear residents come to the window and ask all the time about applying for housing. And so as you all know, all of the applications are open for people to apply, with one exception. The 1-bedroom waiting list has been closed at the agency for some time. And so I inquired the staff of why, and they said, well, because we don't have as many vacancies in ones. And so one of the questions, or one of the items that I brought up to them in response to that is, well, let me take a look at the waiting list. And so what we did, the HUD standard is, if if you cannot house the number of people that's on your waiting list, if you cannot house the number of people that's on your waiting list within 1 year, then you can have your waiting list closed. Our numbers on our waiting list, come to find out, it's now dwindled down to an extremely low number. And so we're gonna open up.
Commissioner Copeland's trying to.
I'm sorry, Commissioner. Copeland is trying to log in on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
I haven't gotten any requests for anybody to join.
So with that, what we've done is we're asking your permission this evening to open the waiting list for the 1-bedroom. So that allow us to build back up our 1-bedroom waiting list. That should come to you all as approval to either one, close the waiting list or to open the waiting list. So right now, all of the waiting lists are open. The only one that's closed is the 1-bedroom waiting list. So that's what this resolution is, to get permission to open up the 1-bedroom waiting list.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So is this waiting list for both Trent Court and Newbern Towers?
Correct.
Okay, I guess why I kind of was unsure, because the contact person is Pamela and it says Trent Court Property Manager. So I was thinking, okay, if this is the waiting list for Trent Court, then somewhere in it, it should say this is the waiting list for Trent Court. It
Yeah.
does not. So.
Yeah, so what, is it only for Trent? Oh, okay.
Then it really should, I think that it should be, the language should be revised to say that it's recommended that we approve the reopening of the 1-bedroom waiting list for Trent Court. I think
Okay.
it should be specific. I don't know how anybody else feels, but I just, since I see the name of the property manager up here, somewhere in the base, it should speak to Trent Court.
So is that your motion?
It's
Yes.
It's on this.
It's on this one on the first one there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think at the end on the, now therefore be
Okay,
it resolved, approving the reopening of the 1-bedroom waiting list for Trent Court.
Okay, yeah, if we just add that
Yep.
verbiage,
Yep.
I just felt like it will speak, since we've got two sets of properties, we don't wanna confuse anybody.
So that's your motion?
So my motion, yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
for a
sure.
record. This term, certain categories of families, I'm not the crafter of this. If the list is only being reopened for certain categories of families, I would say something like certain other occupancy levels or something. Only when we're talking about in health departments, sewer or septic tanks, you know, we use occupancy. We would never refer to it as certain
Categories of families.
categories of families. That's a very,
But isn't that a specific, that's a specific thing from, on HUD's side, that,
well,
For the one.
I didn't write this,
Yeah.
this is not my resolution,
For the
but,
one-bedroom.
yeah, but there, HUD has certain categories of families that will be eligible,
For one, yeah.
for the 1-bedroom, yeah.
I see.
And so if that question is
I think that's
asked,
a, I think that's
then
a
it goes back to
HUD
So,
language.
yeah.
yes, well. Thank you.
Live and
For
learn.
that.
Okay, just different language. I would have had a, thank you for even asking it.
Okay, so I will make a motion that we adopt the resolution reopening the 1-bedroom waiting list with the addition of the words in paragraph 4, approving the reopening the 1-bedroom waiting list at Trent Court. So add the words at Trent Court.
I'll second your motion.
All in favor of approving, adopting the resolution for reopening the 1-bedroom waiting list with added verbiage for Trent Court, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Good. Any more questions or comments? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So good, moved and all that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Ah,
All opposed?
see my supper tonight.
Thank you all for your time. Again, Mr. Bonner and Commissioner Brand, thank you all for all of that.